What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing good today. This is JD Moonin coming at you guys with a regular playing card read. Now, unfortunately, I do have to use the book for a lot of these. A lot of the cards that we're going to be reading today. But Spirit's having me do it, so that's what we're going to do. You know what I mean? So we're going to take our awesome book of names here. Okay, this one that I just wrote names in. Okay, and I numbered them. We're gonna take this deck here. We're gonna shuffle it, and we're gonna find out who we're reading for today. All right, let's go ahead and get a little bit of sage going for everybody here, and then we're gonna get some Palo Santo. Palo Santo. Oh, hey, what the hell? Oh, let's turn this off. Okay, so now we don't have to worry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah, I have my thing, because I'll be on the other side of the house, and somebody will text me. And so then, like, if I don't hear her saying the text messages, a lot of times I'll just, I'll just forget, because I rarely ever, I don't have my phone on me all the time, you know what I mean? So, I'm not what I like to call a cyborg. All right. Okay. Yod hey vav hey. Father. Please focus my energy. Please protect me as I channel the messages. Please bring me answers. And may you give me degas while I'm in this reading. All right. Sorry, guys. I always do like a nice little grounding and get a little bit of get in a little bit of a meditative state a little bit while I'm getting ready to read. Really helps out. So, for those of you guys who don't know, this is black tourmaline. If you're ever feeling any kind of anxiety or anything, pick this thing up and it will, just goes away. Black tourmaline is by far one of the most amazing stones that there is. I remember when the first time I picked one up, I used to have, I've got an anxiety disorder. And so my fight or flight response goes off a lot. Problem is that I fight. Okay, I'm not the running type. And when I can't fight, I just flip out. You know what I'm saying? I just, like, my body, will tense up and shit and all this crazy stuff. And so, anyways, and I get these tingles that just, they'll be all in my body. And I'll get them sometimes for, the whole day, not so much anymore, but back then especially, back at this time that I'm telling you about. So I walked in and I had gotten this in the original black tourmaline stone that I got. Yeah, I got it from this little witch shop downtown that I shop at. It's called like the Inner City Alchemist, something like that. So I go in there and I get this thing, and I remember I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I picked it up, and I just felt all like the tingles from all my whole body just whoosh, went out my arm and just got sucked into the stone. I was like, whoa. I was like, that is amazing. I was like, I want whatever this thing is. I'll never forget that. It was one of the coolest experiences I ever had. Well, I mean, with a stone, anyways, with a gem or whatever you want to call it. Okay. So let's find out who we're reading for today. Hope everybody's doing good today. It is Monday, I know it's Monday. It is 4:51 in the afternoon, in the evening. So today, oddly enough, today I did. Oh, I think Spirit already gave us our. I think he already gave us our name here. So it looks like we're doing a reading for Christian. Let's see. Are we doing a reading for Christian? Nope, we're doing a reading for Taurus. All right, that's what we're doing. Is this Taurus' name Christian? Oh, there we go. So your name is Christian. All right. So anyways, we'll put that right there. That's who we're doing a reading for. We're doing a reading for a Taurus, of course. If it resonates for you as a Taurus, then it could be your sign, or it could be, I don't know. Maybe this could be for Beth. Nope, it's definitely not for Beth. Okay. So this is for a different Taurus. Your name could be Christian. You could be a master number, or a master number. You could be a life path number 8. Oop. Okay. All right, Father. So, what kind of a spread are we doing here? What do we want? Am I doing one card for every week of the year? All right. So we have exactly 52 cards in this deck. We have exactly 52 cards in the year. Okay. So, trying to figure out what's going to be the best way to lay this out. So, and what I want you to realize is that each card is going to represent a different time of the year, okay? A different week in the year. And so now if court cards become relevant, if I put a court card down, okay, I want you to understand that the person that court card represents is what's going to be relevant that week. Okay, so that's what we're doing. This is going to be a full year reading for somebody. Basically, I don't know what Taurus this is. This could be every Taurus for all I know. Maybe you guys could be living the same cycle. I don't know. I don't know everything. I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 4 rows of 13. Okay, I'm going to run this way. Let's see. We're going to deal them from left to right, and then we're reading them from right to left, right? Yep, that's how we're doing it. Okay? So that's how we're going to deal them out. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and do our split here. We're going to go ahead and do a 4 split. Yep, you want me to just do a regular 2? You want me to do a regular 3 split? Yeah, okay. Three bottom cards and top and middle. All right. It's going to be our first set of 13 right there. It's going to be our second set of 13 right here. Third set of 13 right here. And our fourth set of 13 right here. Okay, so these are going to be the different seasons of the year. Now what I could be talking about currently this year. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that we're going to start with our first season, okay? Our first season being winter. We're going to start this reading off on December 25th, I think it is, right? I think that's the solstice. So and then I'll run through to each solstice. It'd be a change of the 13, okay? All right. We're just gonna do a 4-card deal. No, you want to just do one row at a time? All right. Spirit says one row at a time. So here we go. Okay. So remember, this reading is for a Taurus, okay? Name could possibly be Christian. You could also be a life path number 8. Now, when we're looking at these cards, there's going to be either a love affair here or some kind of warning when it comes to gambling or some kind of speculation. I'm seeing a lot of spades in this first season, and I'm seeing that there's somebody here who's going to have an obstinate change of mind. So somebody's going to lose their shit, undoubtedly because somebody's having an affair, probably, or because somebody's lost all their money. So whatever that may be, but that's what that's what I'm seeing here. And then I'm going to find out what because we do have a couple of repeating numbers in this top line. So we have 2 6s, we have 2 2s. We have 2 8s, I think, and 2 4s. So we have 2 4s, 2 2s, 2 3s. No, I'm sorry, 2 6s and 2 8s. Okay, let's see. All right, so how many? We said we had 2 8s or 3 8s. So we have 2 8s. So I have to look this part up because, and believe it or not, it is important. So 2 8s is it stands for frivolous pleasure, passing love fancies. So yeah, it looks like just like what I was saying. It looks like there just stupid love affairs, man, is really what I'm getting out of this. Just dumb. Somebody's probably in a relationship and they're probably cheating on somebody. It's just completely avoidable, stupid shit. This is what pisses me off about people, okay? It just makes no sense why people act like that. Why people just can't. Why can't you just keep your pants on? Why? Like what's the? I don't get it. Anyway, so we have 2 8s is frivolous pleasures, passing love fancies, and an unlooked for development. Now reversing the price of or reversed, it's paying the price for folly. Look, I guess you could say that. Yeah, this one. Nope, that one's not in reverse. Let's see if and the 8 of hearts is not in reverse. See, like the 6 is in reverse. So if you have two facing down like that, then it's in reverse. Okay. So looks like our 8s are in the upright. So it looks like somebody's just out there just, slinging their stuff everywhere. I mean, more power to you. Hope you're having a good time. Pardon me if I if I mosey on by. I never understood that. I did a little bit of that when I was DJ, when I was young. I would, but it was after my ex-wife, and I was very much like, I didn't really want anything from a woman. I just, basically, I was just like, I had a need as a man, and that was it. That was all it was for, and of course, and the women I got with at the time, they knew that. I made that very clear. I've always been that kind of person. I've never been somebody to lead people on. I don't do any of that bullshit, and but I can tell you right now, when I was out there and I was dating, if I was sleeping with multiple partners, then I would find myself in a conundrum to where I would then start getting feelings for multiple people. And that really gets you screwed up, okay? It's already hard enough to deal with one woman. I'm just kidding, okay? I'm just kidding. Women out there. I'm just playing, but I'm not kidding. I am kidding, but I'm not kidding. Just like it's hard enough for you to deal with one man, okay? I know how difficult both sexes are, okay? So what I'm getting at, though, is that, when you only have one person that you're committed to, when you have one person that is taking up a little bit of your time, then what you'll find out is that it's much easier to have your own time. Okay, when you're dating multiple people, good night. Okay, that's just it's not worth the headache at all. It's not anything close to being worth the headache. The headache is just, it's too much. But you open yourself up to people manifesting off of your energy. I know these people that are like, oh, I'm into free loving. It's like, yeah, okay, well, that's cool. Well, so you go do free loving until you get infiltrated. Your little sex band group gets infiltrated by, some energy vampire. Okay, next thing you know, you guys are all fighting off a sexually transmitted demon. That's, if you don't want to believe they're real, then don't. You don't have to. I can tell you they're absolutely real. Okay. Anyways, I could go into that. I could go into it for days. I was looking for this. Okay, so there was another thing that had more of these, more of the doubles and stuff, but I can't find it. Anyways, screw it. Whatever. Okay, so let's get back to our reading here. Okay. So we got the 7 of spades. Okay, we're looking at, so there's definitely sorrow caused by the loss of a dear friend. Now it looks like this was because of an illness, and then so they're in sorrow because of the loss of a dear friend, but they're also, it's also because there's an illness here and a great need for attention to business. Then you have this 8 of hearts. So what that's telling me there is there's probably some kind of, it's partying or something. Yeah, pleasures of the table, convivial society. If you don't know what pleasures of the table is just like, what it is to enjoy going out for a meal with, with friends and family or whatever, and enjoying a good meal together. That's what that's about. And so basically what I'm seeing in this first season is, there's definitely this loss of a dear friend. Somebody's going through an illness of some kind, probably mental illness because of this, because of this loss. And I'm also, and I see you going out with friends and family a lot, probably no doubt to get your mind off of, this loss that you're just dealing with. But then I see that we have this, looks like there's some kind of marriage here. And sadly enough, it's looking like this marriage is marred by the inconsistencies of either the husband or the wife. Okay. We haven't really, I don't really think that Spirit's going to want me to establish whether or not that I'm speaking to a male or a woman. I haven't really figured that out through the energy yet. But seeing as how that, I believe that there's going to be an obstinate change of mind for a male. I think that I'm probably talking to a masculine energy more than likely. Now that can be a female as well. Female can definitely be in their masculine energy, especially as a Taurus. But so anyways, so now there's a marriage here that's marred by the inconsistencies of the wife or the husband. Okay. Now it's also telling me that because of this mar that's going on, okay, this relationship that has an inconsistency in it, okay, if you're married and there's an inconsistency, I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry that you married somebody like that. I'm sorry that you're having to go through that, because that really sucks. I dealt with that when I was young, but to deal with it when you're older, man, I feel very bad for you. I wouldn't be able to deal with it, Now this card can also stand for not necessarily, I'm seeing that it could be marred by the inconsistencies of a wife or a husband. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm seeing like this over here tells me there's some kind of affair. Okay, more than likely. Or there's some kind of big, like there's somebody might have got a lot of money. Okay. They could be at risk of losing it if they're not careful. And that's that warning. That's what the Ace of Spades can stand for. It can be that warning. But I do see like this weird, there's this weird obstinate change of mind with some king, okay, some man. Now, this can also be opposition from friends about whatever the situation is. That would be what this 3 of Spades is standing for. So, then we have the 8 of Spades coming up right after that, which is warning to any enterprise that is basically in hand. Oh, I'm sorry. This one is not the 3. The 3 stands for. So there is the marriage, but now the 3 can stand for a journey. Okay, so keep that in mind. So there could be a journey that. Oh man, there could be a journey here. Oh man, maybe somebody might have left a. Wow, hold on. Okay, so somebody might have went out and then they were getting ready to leave. So you might have went out with friends because of all this that was going on, and then they were getting ready to leave. And it looks like there was an opposition there. Somebody was. It looks like there was some kind of opposition from friends about somebody going on this journey. That's what I think this is. I think this is a journey. So I think somebody was going on a journey with somebody. Oh yeah, see, because here, look. So I think somebody might have went on a journey with somebody. Okay. Ooh. Somebody was telling somebody, don't go, don't do this. Don't do whatever this business here. Don't leave to go do this business because you're too giving, okay, and you're going to be taken advantage of. And then we have the 6 of Spades here. This is what I'm getting here. I'm getting that somebody was warned after whatever this was. Or I'm getting that maybe that this was the funeral of this person. This is very possible. This could be going on that there was a funeral, and because somebody lost a good friend, that they told him don't go home with this person or whatever. That's what I'm kind of getting out of this. That's what I'm really feeling. Somebody might have warned a friend not to go do something, and then they might have lost that friend. This friend might have passed away. Might have died because they got murdered by somebody or something like that. Or, I don't know if we're allowed to say murdered on here anymore, but, they might have gotten seriously injured. So it looks like opposition from friends because of a marriage, right? About getting married. Okay, opposition from friends about getting married. Because of, I don't know, something about easy prey for swindlers, and then it's also looking like, we have the 6 of Spades here, which is talking about, hard work brings brings wealth in after toil, basically. Brings wealth and rest after toil. Um, so let's see. We have a 2 of clubs. Now it's saying here that I guess somebody went on this journey. Somebody went on a journey, got married. Okay, is possibly what I'm seeing here. Somebody went on a journey to get married, possibly, um, to somebody they thought was liberal and loving and caring, and then also was a hard worker and would bring wealth and rest after hard work. Um, However, it looks like there's a 2 of clubs, which is saying somebody needs to be careful because I'm seeing that care is needed to avert disappointment right here. I don't know what the situation is here. I think it's got something to do with a love affair, possibly. Okay. Yep. So there's care. Care is being. There's a warning for somebody that somebody needs to have care because there's a breach of confidence. Okay. There's troubles caused by inconsistent friends and vexations, and it looks like with something that has to do with money, and I'm thinking this is a love affair. Yep, I was 100% correct. So either somebody's gambling with somebody, or somebody's sleeping with somebody to gamble, to get money to gamble. What I'm seeing here is I'm seeing that somebody needs to be careful because they're walking a tightrope. Basically, somebody might have you figured out. Whoever I'm speaking to here, this is a warning to you. So there's a warning in regards to love affairs, okay, and also speculation. There's an unsatisfactory love affair that's awakening the opposition of friends and relatives right now. We might have read this the wrong way. I think we did, didn't we? Did we read this the wrong way? I think we did, but that's okay. Because I was supposed to deal it one way and then read it the other, but that's all right. We're reading it. We're reading the top one the right way, so from left to right. We're going to read the rest of them probably from right to left. That's why it's not making sense. Okay, that's why it's hard to understand because I am supposed to. Yeah. So so here we go. Okay, now I got it. Okay, so we have a king of diamonds here. Okay, this is going to be somebody who's basically fair skinned, but they have a temper. Okay, and they're a fair man as well, but they're having an obstinate change of mind because of opposition to a love affair. Okay, awakening or a love affair awakening opposition of friends and relatives. Because somebody is not only they're gambling, okay, not only are they gambling their wealth, but they're also giving their wealth away to somebody, to some person, okay? On top of giving their money away to some person, they are, you're in a third party. This person is cheating on you, okay? So I don't know if I'm speaking to a man or a woman. All I know is that there's a man here that's going to have an obstinate change of mind, which means you need to get the hell away from that person because that dude's about to flip out. Might even try and hurt somebody, especially if it's got to do with this money here. And it looks like there's also so it's okay. So see, there's this money thing going on here, which has kind of got me concerned. There's a warning. Because unsatisfactory love affairs, there's a warning to a peaceful home. Yep, there's a warning to a peaceful home. Okay, that it looks like it's about to get tore up from the floor up. Because there's a breach of confidence. There's troubles caused by inconsistent friends, vexations, and disagreeables. Okay, so just disagreements and then also unreliable people. You got to make sure you don't have unreliable people in your life. They will destroy your life. Now care is needed to avert disappointment and avoid opposition, because it looks like it looks like hard work is going to bring wealth and rest after a toil, but I mean, you're going to have to do it. You know, somebody's going to have to do the hard work. Yeah, it looks like somebody's going to have to do the hard work. Now, I'm also seeing here that somebody is, you know, has a confiding nature. They're liberal, open-handed, very giving, and things like that. You need to be very careful, whoever this person is that I'm talking to, because people are going to try and steal from you through business, is what I'm getting here. Some people are going to try and take advantage of you because you're open-handed, loving, and caring. Okay, so you need to be aware of that. It looks like somebody's going to try and take advantage of you through a marriage. Okay, or while you're on a journey. Okay, or both. And it looks like they're going to do this in the form of, you know, of pleasures at the table. So it also looks like that, you know, they might try and get you screwed up, might try and get you fucked up on drugs, maybe take advantage. It's very possible. But you need to be very careful because it looks like there's going to be an illness and a great need and a need for great attention to business. Okay, and this is going to be because this is because there's going to be sorrow due to the loss of a friend. It looks like somebody's going to get found out, I think, for cheating, or somebody's going to get sick from you know, sleeping around. So just be aware of that. You know, that more than likely this has already happened. So I think that's what I'm reading here is something that's already happened to somebody. This happened during the wintertime. Man, I feel sorry for you because my winter went, you know, my winter was not better. My winter was pretty shitty. Now we're coming into spring. So this is our springtime. So I'm speaking on the past right here. Okay. Ooh. Let's see, we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. Okay. All right, so I don't ever like seeing this card, okay? If this ever comes up in one of your readings, I'm sorry, that sucks, because she's a bitch, okay? This is the nastiest woman in the deck, okay? She is. She's a bitch. She's fond of bribes, of scandal. This is just not somebody you want to associate with. Very just evil wench kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Very just not cool. Just not cool. Anyways, so it looks like in this you know, in the springtime here, it looks like somebody's going to be dealing with somebody who's remained single until the middle of their middle ages because of being too hard to please. Now this could also be the person I'm talking to. They could be, you know, remaining single because, you know, being too hard to please. Now, this is a bad omen, okay? This could be a bad omen, or it could be because somebody gets sent to jail, okay? Somebody got sent to jail. There's two things that could be here. So, you know, I'm seeing that somebody who's remained single until the beginning of life or until the middle of life for being too hard to please is in grief over this bitch right here, or they're in jail because of this bitch, or they sent this bitch to jail. Okay, one of those things. We're gonna find out more as we go down. Either way, okay, you just want to get away from that woman. It's just this woman is not a good woman, and that's not to say that there aren't men that can't be that way, because there absolutely can. I just find women have it comes more naturally to them to just rip your heart out and throw it on the ground. What I'm also getting here is it looks like whoever these two people are, it looks like they might have children together, okay? Or it looks like this person might have children, or this person... This also looks like it could stand for, and now with the 9 of clubs following, it looks like that's the case. It looks like there's There's an unexpected success in business enterprises. Okay, this is unexpected news of success in business. Okay, and this is going to be, and then we're going to be talking about this. It's going to give you this 9 of clubs. There's going to be this 9 of clubs that's going to be involved in this. Now, 9 of clubs is a good card. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's not the good one. I was thinking that had to do with money. Wow, that's interesting. So it looks like somebody getting news of business success. This is going to actually cause friction through the opposition to the wishes of friends. So it looks like that's interesting. So it looks like there's this woman here is going to have she's going to have a business success. And then there's going to be friction from the opposition of friends because of a 10 of hearts. It's typically a good card. Okay, so this one counteracts bad cards in the vicinity. So it looks like somebody got a bad omen because of some bitch. Looks like she was looking for... Because some bitch getting... So because the evil bitch got unexpected news of business success that caused opposition from friends, okay? And because there was a sign of good fortune, it looks like, and also somebody has a good heart. Ooh, man. So did somebody... Oh, now I see what's going on. Now, see, this person's got a bad omen because this chick showed up. Oh, that's funny. Well, fuck around and find out, I guess. I mean, should have played games, man. You play games, you want to leave somebody, you want to screw somebody over because, you want to go work or whatever. And say this person needed you during that time frame, right? And you're going to pull that kind of crap. Okay? Well... Don't get mad when a better partner comes in for that other person. If you were committed and you wouldn't have been just committed to yourself and the selfish piece of shit that you are, then you wouldn't be dealing with this problem. So I hope that this is a very solid, hard, karmic lesson for you. Okay? And maybe in the next life you won't do this again. Okay? So you don't have to experience this pain. Because let's say if you broke up with somebody because other people had a problem with your love affair, okay? Which is looking like what happened. And not only that, but it looks like you did this while this person was grieving over somebody, okay? Or you gave somebody the advice to do this, okay? Now, this is for a Taurus, like I said. So, you could have also given somebody this advice to do this to this person, to leave them while they're mourning over a loss of a loved one. Or a friend or whatever. And then you tell them to go off and work, right? They go off and focus on work. Well, now that person's moving on with someone else. Well, what did you expect? Okay, if you have a good catch, you don't walk away from the good catch, okay? Because when you walk away from the good catch, guess what? Everybody else knows that that's a good catch, okay? And so anybody else, as soon as that person's done healing, I don't care if you think you've destroyed that person. I don't care if you think that you've removed their self-confidence. They're going to come back more confident, okay? And they're going to come back stronger than ever. And they're going to be sexier than ever, okay? And at the age that, like, for take my age, for instance, at 35, okay? You see a friggin' boss man or woman or whatever walking into a room, and you're single, they're single. Dude, immediately you're like, whoa, hey, what's going on, baby? No, you're looking good. I mean, that's what's going on there. Okay. Because anybody who's a boss, they want to be with a boss. Okay. And if you're in karmic energy and you're not a boss, well, then you need to go figure that out. I'm sorry for you. And you can raise children and be in karmic energy. Okay. You absolutely can. Okay. Anyways, this is just ridiculous. I mean, I don't understand why you're going to get mad. And then try and be some kind of way. That's ridiculous. Anyways, So opposition from, from friction from friends and relatives, okay? And it looks like, that's just, of course, because of this, there was a good relationship there. And then it looks like there was even a ring. There's some kind of proposal and a ring, okay? But see, now it looks like there's a ring being given to this queen of clubs, okay? Now this is a good partner here, okay? Except for, this person is a little, little susceptible to, gestures, if you will, and you got to watch out for that. I mean, if you fall privy to or victim to, sexual coercion or, whatever, you need to be careful being in this energy, because that energy is going to get you caught up. Okay, so and that's what I'm seeing here. It looks like quite possibly there was opposition to the real love, the real relationship that this woman could have had. And so she instead went out acting like this, is what I'm seeing here. So I'm seeing that somebody gave this is advice from somebody to somebody else, is what I'm thinking this is. Somebody was telling them, oh, no, girl, put your, go out and find a ring, go get you a man. Well, so what that does is... so with this 9 of diamonds, that's going to reduce your capacities, okay? It's going to make everybody look at you lesser, okay? Because now you have a wandering disposition and nobody wants you because nobody thinks you're going to settle down, okay? Let me tell you something. When you start getting older, people aren't trying to play house anymore, okay? Because mortality becomes very real, especially when you hit your 30s. You start realizing, oh, shit, I'm not going to be here forever. Oh, shit, I am going to die. I'm remember to rephrase this, my body will die, okay? Oh, shit, I have children that I want to leave a legacy behind for. Oh, shit, I want to be remembered for something. Those become very real thoughts when you hit your 30s. So if you're free, if you're footloose and fancy free at 31, 32, just give it another year. Okay, give it another year. Because at 33, you're not going to be acting that way. I can promise you that. Okay? At 33, you're going to start realizing, oh, fuck. I'm starting to get a little balding going on. Things start to hurt that didn't hurt before. You know what I'm saying? Then when you hit 35, then you really start going, oh, man. Well, this shit's just going by fast, Those 20s, as fun as they are, you just don't realize how quick this whole thing goes. So to conclude here, it looks like in the springtime, it looks like, somebody's gonna basically be discounted. Their faculties are gonna be discounted by a wandering disposition, mainly because it looks like they were chasing money. Yeah, I see somebody who's got a wandering disposition because they're trying to find, happiness and good fortune. But it also says that if there's any troubles that will come, it will come from the opposite sex. And then we have the 4 of clubs here, which is a warning against falsehoods and double dealing. Okay, so somebody's getting a warning that in the springtime, don't, now I'm assuming this already happened, but don't double deal this man, this King of Hearts. Okay, King of Hearts is a good man. It's a good man, but he's a just man, and he does get angry if he gets, he's given to rash judgments and often possessing more zeal than discretion. And it looks like that's coupled with a Jack of Clubs. And it's because this man is a... You got to be careful because you're gonna do something and either be, either this is a very trusting and good friend to have, and you're gonna take advantage and fuck yourself over, okay, by doing that to this person. Let me give you an example. It's like my ex. I asked her to do me a favor. So I sent her some money, and then she just takes my money. Yeah, after you already done treated me horribly, okay, and I trusted you to take care of this thing for me, okay? I mean, I figured at least Out of all things, I could do that. I could trust you to take care of one thing for me. And what do? You take my money. And then you just, poof, gone. I mean, like, if you expect me to still be your friend, you know, I mean, this is the example I'm giving you because, you know, people do this, and then come back around, and they're like, oh, I need help. It's like, well, fuck you, and they're like, and it's like, how are you gonna act mad at me, okay? When I've tried to help you many times, I've given you money to take care of something for me, and you take it every time. Like what? What? Am I just gonna sit around and just keep being stolen from? No, I'm not. Okay. You know, I mean, people need to wise up, dude. I don't get it. I mean, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I mean, that's the reality of it here. Just quit being stupid. Get some morals. Quit being a piece of shit. I don't understand why people do this. And then what makes people think they could do it to Earth Angels too, because you see this all the time in readings, is they try and pull this bullshit on Earth Angels. That's the last person you want to do any of this shit to. Okay? Because when that karma sets in, and it might be 5-10 years due, but let me tell you, when that karma sets in, you're going to fucking hate yourself and your life for ever doing what you did to that person. Earth Angels are protected. Trust me. I am one. All right, so it's Ace of Hearts. Okay, it's a wonderful card. It's a great card. Now, the Ace of Hearts, but standalone, it stands for the house. Okay, stands for a house. So it looks like in the summertime, it looks like there's a house that, there's going to be a man that lives in it, that lives in this thing. Okay, so it looks like, now this is a good man. This is a good-hearted man. Okay, the King of Spades, ironically, is the polar opposite of the Queen of Spades. Okay, Queen of Spades is a complete and utter bitch. The King of Spades is a very loving, caring person, very high-minded, meaning high moral compass and things like that. And this person is successful in the higher walks of life. What I mean by this is we're talking in this person's going to be ambitious, and he's going to be successful in the higher walks of life, meaning not just business, but in knowledge itself, okay, in philosophy, just knowledge. This man just knows a lot of things. And it looks like, so he's got a 10 of diamonds. I mean, that's a wonderful card, the 10 of diamonds there. 10 of diamonds means this person is going to suddenly come into, suddenly acquires, probably through the death of a relation or friend, just riches, okay? Just acquires a bunch of riches. And it looks like it could be because of the death of a relative. It's showing a near relative who puts his own interests first, is self-opinionated and easily offended, and not always quite straight. Now it does look like that. Riches are suddenly acquired, and then and then somebody thinks that it's because of possibly Okay, somebody gets some riches because of the death of a friend, and then it looks like this person here, this close relative gets jealous. Why? This person had to lose somebody and never get back for that. Why the fuck would you get jealous about that? It's so ridiculous, dude. People, envy is the worst kind of just emotion. It's the worst sin ever, dude. I mean, if you look upon anyone with envious eyes, you need to go rethink your life. There's not a single life in this world that's not difficult, okay? Every one of them are difficult. Everybody's life is hard. I don't give a fuck if you're the billionaire or if you're a prostitute, okay? Everybody's life is hard. It is. Arguably, a billionaire has a lot more worries to deal with than you do, okay? I can promise you that. With more money comes more responsibility. You people are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous with that envy bullshit. Get out of here with that shit. I can't stand that crap. Anyway, so it looks like somebody's envious, and then it's also looking like they're envious of a marriage late in life too. That's going to be somewhat. They're envious because they're either in a marriage. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So they're envious they're envious because they're in a marriage late in life that will be somewhat checkered. So that's why you're jealous, because you end up marrying somebody that you're not happy with. Well, I'm sorry, babe. You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have ran away. You shouldn't have. You should have healed. You should have dealt with your pain. Okay, and you should have known when you had to catch. I'm sorry that you let him get away. It looks like so it looks like, her marriages, it looks like she already went through 2 or 3. It looks like 2 or 3 marriages with money. Okay, so obviously we know that whoever this, they were dealing with women who were wanting them for money, basically. Then you got the Jack of Hearts. That's typically Cupid, okay? So it looks like so it looks like this is also the best friend. So it looks like we have the best friend here. So we have this three of clubs. Okay, so somebody's jealous of somebody, or somebody's jealous of somebody's marriage, possibly, because of this 3 of clubs. Because 2 or possibly 3 marriages with money, and then you have the nine of spades. That's a shitty card. Yeah, it says an ill-fated card, meaning sickness, losses, and troubles and family dissension right here. Oh, okay. So it looks like there's losses and troubles, family dissension. This is just a bad omen for a Taurus. And that's because of, I guess, possibly their best friend. Okay, so somebody must be having an illness because of love. Yeah, okay, so that's what. So like an STD. Okay, so yeah, okay. So what I'm seeing here is looks like somebody got ill from sleeping with either a dark skinned man or this huh. Or somebody could be envious because a good husband, so they want this good husband, but this person might have like herpes or something, like something that doesn't go away, but it's like it's a mild annoyance, right? Nuisance. It's very possible. But so then we have this wish card. So somebody was wishing for. Oh man, somebody was wishing to get. Oh my God. So you got an STD because you went out and you had sex for money to gamble, huh? What a loser. Wow, and that ends up causing legal and domestic fights. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, you got a problem when you get an STD for prostituting yourself out to go gamble. So that's what somebody did, or somebody's gonna do in the summertime. Well, that's ridiculous. What an idea. Let's do that. Let's go prostitute ourselves out and get money to gamble. because that's a fucking great idea. Dumbass. Yeah, let me tell you something. If you think that any prostitute, okay, is empowered, you're wrong. They're not. They're miserable, they hate their life, and they think they're disgusting people. That's why they do drugs and they die young. Okay? That's why they're constantly trying to escape their reality. You need to wake up to that. Just like I saw that post today about this adult porn star who, died from obviously a fentanyl overdose. And that's because, I mean, when you open your legs up for anybody, or in a man's case, when you're putting it in any chick, dude, your energy's so scattered you don't know. I mean, how can you be happy with yourself? I mean, they didn't tell us when we were young that you're giving a piece of yourself to somebody for no reason. Okay, I don't agree with the church and having sex out of wedlock is a sin. That's all bullshit. But I mean, sleeping with a bunch of people and putting your thing all over the internet and shit like that. I mean, yeah, but like, what do you think it's going to do to you? Like, you're showing the most private part of you to people and giving it to just anybody. But what the fuck do you think is going to happen? Not to mention, it's the most potent energy source you have. And as soon as you open it up to people, the wrong person, they're going to just take all the energy out of it that they can. Might even get you pregnant, knocked up, and then bounce. Okay? So you need to keep that in mind when you're doing this dumb shit. When you're out there just putting that thing everywhere for everybody. Okay? Dumbass. God, man, I can't. I do not like this energy. Spirit, I do not like this energy, man. This is bullshit. I mean, just who lives like this? Okay, So we've given up. So now we don't have a bunch of people to use. Okay, so now what are we gonna do? We're gonna put our thing on the internet so we can get money to gamble. Dumb ass, dude. Get a grip. Get a fucking grip. God, man. I need to hold on to this thing before I have a fucking... All right. So it looks like, just starting out right out of the gate, it looks like there's a death. Okay, now this looks like this is in the fall. Okay, so in the fall it looks like there's a death. This is for a Taurus. Okay, so it looks like, it's very... Somebody's going to be removed or there's going to be a death in the fall. Okay? Now, it looks like this could be somebody, who has a bad temper and a tendency to interfere with the inquirer, but happiness to be found in the chosen wife or husband. So this very well could be the husband of somebody that's going to be passing away in the fall. And it looks like whoever passes away, it looks like, or there could be a removal because of somebody's temper. So it looks like maybe there could have been a death because of somebody's temper. And then this caused like an advantageous marriage, okay? Now keep in mind, this is over a 3-month period, okay? So, I mean, a lot can happen in 3 months. It looks like there could have been a death or a removal of an advantageous marriage because there's, with the Queen of Diamonds. So, or it looks like somebody might have passed away and this was an advantageous, marriage with this Queen of Diamonds here. It looks like she's going to be a fair woman that's given to flirtation and fond of society and admiration. It looks like they could have been married to a faithless, inconsistent friend who could pose to be an enemy, or maybe they need to beware of that. Beware of a faithless, inconsistent friend that could pose to be an enemy. And I think the way you might recognize this person is basically there's going to be they're going to have had an early marriage and a speedy widowhood. Now, speedy widowhood stands for just, they're not going to be married very long. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that the spouse had to die. And it's also giving a warning. So this is also telling you too, if you are this Queen of Diamonds, okay, this is telling you to be very weary of somebody who's had this, who had an early marriage and had a speedy widowhood. Okay, so either had somebody that died quickly, had a spouse that died quickly, okay, or somebody who got divorced very quickly. Okay, maybe they've been together for not even a year, or maybe a year, and they got divorced. This is a warning. Okay, to their second marriage. So they've only been married one time. They've only had one marriage, and it was quick over like that. There's a warning here. Don't do it. Okay, don't do it. And it looks like too that it's saying that prosperity and success is going to be very dependent on your willingness to act. Okay, somebody's willingness to act, to do something, to move forward. Okay, but also it's going to be very dependent on a marriage. Okay, your success is going to be very dependent on a marriage. Like I tell people, you can ascend the confines of the physical being, okay, but you cannot evolve from this life by yourself. You can ascend from it, but you will come back, okay, but you can't evolve to the next level of consciousness by yourself. That requires another. Okay, you're going to keep coming into this life until you do that. So my greatest advice is to find somebody you can be harmonious with and join together, because that's who you're going to ascend with. So now it's what I'm getting here is it's telling me that, your prosperity and success is going to be highly dependent on, a peaceful home, industry, general prosperity, and stuff like that, right? Or a marriage. Somebody could be unready for marriage because of a peaceful home. They wanted a peaceful home, industry, general prosperity. Okay, so they could have turned a marriage down with somebody. And keep in mind, guys, the queens can represent men as well. Okay. And it's also given me that this person wasn't ready for a marriage, and then it's also given me that there's a warning against their second marriage. Whoever I'm speaking to, or if somebody who's going through this, and that's going to be because okay, so that's showing me that they believe that their prosperity and wealth was going to be a peaceful home was what was going to give them, this wealth here. There's this success in business. But I'm seeing here that there's a warning with the possible results of the inquirer's own use of prudent and tact. Okay, coupled with the seven of diamonds here. So this one here, basically, it's given that there's a few different things that are going to happen. Okay, for this Queen of Hearts. Okay. The first thing is it's going to enjoin a need for careful action. Okay, now this is in the fall. Okay, so bear with me here and heed what I'm saying, because in the fall, whoever this is, you're going to have some careful action, because there's going to be you're going to lose. There's going to be prosperity is going to be getting lost. Okay, in the fall. Looks like there's going to be people talking shit about you in the fall. Okay, is what I'm seeing here, and Yeah, so basically, I'm just saying that you need to have careful action in the fall, okay? Because there's going to be, if you don't, there's going to be a serious decrease in prosperity, okay? Um, so no doubt because of a death of some kind. So just heed that warning. There's death coming up, and whoever I'm speaking to, whatever Taurus I'm speaking to, it's going to cause a lot of changes in your life. Okay, so just be ready for that. Let me grab a couple oracle cards for you, and then I got to go get my groceries. All right, let's see what this. I feel like this witching hour oracle is going to be the best thing for you, because considering the way that reading went, man, and the energy, dude. Oh my God, I couldn't stand. Whoever that bitch was, dude. I couldn't stand that woman's energy for 5 minutes. Okay, so here we go. All right, so our first, I knew that was coming out. So there's deception going on, okay, in your energy. Be very careful. Just be on the lookout. Somebody's acting like they love you, and they've got they're holding a knife in their hand ready to stab you in the back. Okay, so just be very careful. What's the next message here, Spirit? Yeah, it says you already know. You already have an inner knowing. It's telling you to take the first step. Just do it, whatever it is. Okay, something's telling you to do something. Just do it. Okay. Don't think about it. Just do it. All right. What's our third thing? What's our third oracle here? Here we are. And it's saying, there's a flying ointment here, so it's saying just let loose, man. Just let loose. Go out and have a good time, and get away from whatever the hell that is. And then the final oracle card here to close it out, to close out the reading. All right, so we have Season of the Witch. All right. Honor the cycles, okay? Go out, have a good time when you're supposed to, and all that good stuff. Anyways, guys, this is what I got for you, Taurus. Keep in mind, you could be a life path number 8, and your name could be Christian. Anyways, if this resonates with you, please don't forget, like and subscribe. Tell me down in the comments what you think. So yeah, that's the reading I got for you today, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys later this evening, and then tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay.